Members, this would be I would move to instruct the conferees on SB2 to exclude any language expending funds from the Economic Stabilization Fund, specifically including Amendments 22 and 24, and those were the Howard amendments, on House second reading from the Conference Committee report on SB2.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Turner, for what purpose?
Will the gentleman yield?
Mr. King, to yield?
Absolutely.
Representative King, you are asking the conferees to take out the Howard-Farrar amendment with respect to the schools?
What I'm asking them to do is, yes, I'm asking them to, but in a broader sense, the broader statement is to exclude, to not allow any language in the conference committee, including what might go outside the bounds, to spend any more of the Economic Stabilization Fund at this time.
So is it your intent to make, for the House to make the statement that if there is any money that goes beyond the $6.2 billion that we generally agree will remain in the rainy day fund, that those dollars should not be prioritized for our public schools?
No, the intent of the motion and all those who signed it, I think, is to give an instruction that no additional funds be spent out of the Economic Stabilization Fund through this bill.
Right, I understand that. But the amendment that was put on by Donna Howard essentially says that if there's any excess dollars in the rainy day fund beyond the $6.2 billion that is there now,
that amount is not there now. It's $5 billion right now.
Well, at the end of the 2012, 2013,
yeah, to be up to
right,
6.3 something.
That the Donna Howard amendment says that those dollars will be prioritized, and that public education would receive, the foundation school program would receive those excess dollars to the extent there are any. Are you seeking now to say you want us to vote not to make our public schools a top priority, even on the excess dollars, to the extent there are any?
Not at all. The way the Howard Amendment was constructed is it will bind our next legislature. When they come in, we know that, as in every session, there's going to be a supplemental budget action.
Correct.
And what this would do is, if any excess funds were going to arise, and at that time they still may not know, but they will be bound on those excess funds as they go into that supplemental budget. In addition, many of us, and I know you're on a different side of this, and it is a legitimate debate,
right?
I realize,
and that's why I want to.
But many of us have made a commitment that we believe that the state needs in my opinion, at least a 5% reserve fund.
I understand that.
And even at 6.3, it is below a 5%
I understand
reserve
that.
fund.
And let me be very clear. Let me lay all of my cards on the table. I believe public education should be a top priority, the top priority for the state of Texas. And the focal point of the Donna Howard Amendment is to say that if there are any excess dollars at the end of the 2012-2013 session, even when we come in at the beginning of the next session, that those excess dollars in the rainy day fund would be prioritized to public education. Now, I firmly believe that in part demonstrates a top priority, where our hearts, mind, beliefs are. If people vote for this amendment, if people vote for your amendment, then this House is saying that public education is, in fact, not a top priority, which I believe we've already demonstrated that it's not a top priority.
I disagree
and
with that.
And this amendment would simply amplify that it's not a top priority.
Disagree with that characterization.
Well, I understand we don't like the characterization, but the point is, for people like me who believe we have not placed education at the top, to vote for this amendment further places a stamp on the belief that public education is not a top priority in this legislature.
Representative Sheffield's.
You still want us to vote for it?
The gentleman's time has expired.